All right, hello everyone, and thank you for joining in. What we're doing today is we're going over the Brenton Septuagint, discovering who the Canaanites are. The Brenton Septuagint, we find out that they are the Chanaanites. We will be using the King James Version when we come to names that we cannot get any further with. Now, when we look at the King James Version, we are told of a people group called the Zemarite. We are in Genesis chapter 10, verse 18. The Zemarite. When we go to the Brenton Septuagint in Genesis chapter 10, verse 18, we are told it's the Samarean. Now, if you look, the beginning is Zem R in KJV, and in Brenton, the beginning is Sam R. So the difference is Z versus, as we can see, the S. So when we look at Zamar versus Samar, so it's instead of Samarites, we're looking for Samareans. So following the Brenton Septuagint, we're going to look for Samarean. When we go to etymology online, we don't get anything in return. We click it a couple times just to be sure. As you can see, nothing pops up. We go over to Brenton Septuagint for Zemarite. We don't get anything for either one of those, so that's kind of useless. When we go to Google and type in Samarite, to Samarite comes up, and we get from the Bible net, excuse me, those two are out of order. We go to the Bible net, and it tells us that the Zemarites from the King James Version are also called the Tismari. So another name for Zemarites is Tismari. We can type in Tismari and it gives us back Tisamarite or Samarite. Now, Samarite is the same as the Samarean. Okay, so if we look and try to find the Zemarite, it truthfully does lead us back to the Samarean. So there's the Tismari, and you can see in Hebrew it comes up, and that is also a Zemarite. So we see the same Tisem, Ori right there. And when we look this up over here, excuse me, on the Bible net, we do get the same thing. So we're going to go to this one for a second. When we typed in Samarean, it also tries to give us these Sumerian history. Under the Roman Empire, Samarean was part of the province of Judah. So previously to the Roman Empire, it was not a province of Judah. So when you type in Sumerian people, give you images, but I don't like to use Yahoo for images. I just rather use good old-fashioned Google. Now, when we go to Google and type in Sumerian, it starts giving us some interesting images. Now, this is under Sumerian people, and this is their ancient name, the EAN. If I type in Samaritan, like they asked, do you mean? This gives us the Sumerians, and this will pull up biblical links. Shows we're on the same pattern, same wavelength. And then this comes up. These are the images of the Samarean. Now, as you see, all I did was chase the name. I don't even have to chase any of the writings at all. I literally just chase the name and it leads me right back to these people. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a name chase. Once you start going over their biblical history, they're taking you away from who the peoples are. These are the Chanaanites, the Samareans, who we call the Samaritans, as Rome wrote them into Judea. This little devil kid keeps screaming out here. We have a lot of these new foreigners from the Arab regions, and these are the Samaritans, and you see their little kufi hats. And you've been kept from this because you just viewed things that go on in America. Now, here are Asiatic families of the same people groups. Now, here you have what you would term Middle East, but look very Caucasian-esque. You can argue that if you want. If they trim their hair and remove their ethnic beard like they always ask you to, you will clearly see they look just like any of the average Joes that are running around in your neck of the woods, no matter what state you live in. Right? You see it right there. This is the Wikipedia link. When it shows you click on Samaritans, is what they show you. All right. So you think what you want. You see them using those American style hats in the background. These are some of the paler people that came out of the Chanaanite groups. And like I said, here we're taught, oh, we're the Chanaanites. We're the Canaanites. And you see Samaritans in the Jewish Encyclopedia, right? So we'll see if we can just open the picture. We'll see if that picture just opens itself. No, it takes us to it. Properly, inhabitants of Samaria, the name is now restricted to a small tribe of people living in Nablus, which they claim is Shechem, calling themselves Ben Israel. Okay, so if these people are Israelites, why are they saying that the name Samaritans, which is a Canaanite name, why are they saying that these people are the only people that call themselves that? Or sometimes written in Hebrew, that's what they call it. Their history as a distinct community begins with the taking of Samaria by the Assyrians in 722 BCE. Okay, so what they claim is within this district they have Israelites living. That is fairly true to believe, since Scripture does say scattered to the four corners of the earth. Now, here you have one of these images, and you can see that it looks like. What it looks like is like what do you call it? Gypsies. Right. So there you see this. I'm gonna put it down so I don't affect my other pages. Alright, so let me go back over there. Alright, so again, here's where these are the people that are quote unquote carrying in. Right? You're carried away, they're carrying in. Then there's the remainder, right? Even when you click ancient, you see it's the same freaking people, right? Yeah, these are the people that are anciently moved there. These are the Chanaanites that are anciently moved there. All right, so when you go over here, you type in modern Sumerian. I typed in people, and they put woman up there. So whether it's again, so it gets you right back to that. Let's try what they had. Women. And it brings us right back to this one. Esk. Okay, so now this is something interesting. Members of a Lutheran Women's Association act out the gospel story of the Canaanite woman at the well with Jesus. Okay, but see, these are the fucking Canaanite people that were at the well with Jesus. You know, their story. These people. That's what we don't understand, right? So when they try to tell you the story, they're telling you about this person, not necessarily him, but you know what I'm saying. These people as a group, all right? There's no difference when I go from here. They're just cousins. So you see the bird, the unique nose, you know, looks like the bird. All right, so let's go further into this. We can type in Samaritan people, because that's what it gave you, and it says ethno groups living in Levant originating from the Israelite or blah 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 blah, and then starts talking about Jeremiah likewise speaks of people from Shechem, Sheol, and Samaria who brought offerings of frankincense to the house of the Lord. So this one talks about who are the Samaritans, and things of that nature. Now, here is where the trick is. Now, when you type in Samar, they give you the Samarite, right? So the Samarite is a place. Now, here's Angola weather. So you have to say, wait, there's a place called Samarite. So where is Samarite, Angola? And then when you go here, now you see they done put these black people here sometime in history to replace where these people came from. Okay, I'm gonna show you how you can tell. Where is this place at? Okay, so Angola is in fucking Africa. Where is Egypt? Because these people grew up in this alleged place, Egypt. These Sumerian people grew up near this alleged place, Egypt, where their cousins from the Chanaanite tribe were ruling in the upper Egypt. So when I go here and I open this in a new tab and I say Upper Egypt, and as for map, let's say deleted map. Oh, detailed map. Yeah, sure. Upper, and then I'm gonna click the images. All right. I'm just gonna click on one of these, and then they show the different color systems is upper and lower. See the red line is the boundaries, right? Here's the boundaries, right? The lower, the southern boundary, right? Lower Egypt and upper, and they don't give you very good colors there, do they? Let's see if we can find another one. No, I clicked detailed, and this was what they gave us. Well, let's look in another area and see if we can find something that points out what's what. All right. So Lower Egypt in the Nile Delta to the north. So this is Lower Egypt. Now, Upper Egypt is down here at the mouth of the Nile in the south. Okay, so when you look at Samaria and Angola, its location, now you have to ask yourself, why would they have Australia right here? But, or Argentina. That's a weird, excuse me, wrong one. Let's see if we can get another map. That's nasty. So here you are. So here we see right here, and you see where the dip is right there, and then you have that dip right there. So this is Angola, right? And in Angola is Samarite, the place. So when I say Samarite Angola, go to all, they're showing me a location first. You see that? That's a place. And that's actually the place, again, where these people come out of. Now they get kicked out of that land. Where do they end up? And we know them today to live where? Well, they tell us when we go to any of these Google things. Yeah, let's go to this one. Where is it at? Let's go to this one. It says it's on the encyclopedia, Wikipedia. So, for the parable of Good Samaritan, click there. Not to be confused with the Sarmatians. Now the Samartians are something else. Samar and Sarmatians are two different things. Okay, for other uses, Samaritan disambiguation. Samaritans in Hebrew, Samarim, guardians, keepers, watchers, and they claim of the law. Right now, when you say a watcher, it says something different, doesn't it? Now, if these people are Chanaanites and the Israelites didn't want them on the land, then this means something completely different. It could mean mixed with or sewn into the watchers or the guardians or the people that were supposed to be watch. All right. So that's just my opinion. I don't have any evidence of that. I just got that feeling. So it says it's an ethno-religious group. So that means it's not a blood group, right? That's what that means. Here, let me close some of these out so we can get some other shit on screen. We know who they are now. And we don't need that one either. All right. So ethno-religious means, or ethno, ethnic group, whose members are also unified by common religious background. So not only are they, see, this is how we are supposed to be, but we are scattered. Even here in America, we are scattered. So ethno-religious, whose members are also unified. Also, so they're a people group, right? A nation. So when we go back here, oh, we don't need that on there anymore. All right, so it says, of the Levant, originating from the Israelites or Hebrews. See, originating from, you'd think that their blood group, their ethno-religious group, come from Hebrews, right? Because this is what it says. That's a bold-faced lie. They're Chanaanites of ancient Near East. Samaritans are here to Samaritanism. See, I don't even want to tell you about their people. I just want to tell you about their beliefs. It says Samaritans claim descent from the tribe of Ephraim. Now, wouldn't it make sense if this paragraph is up one? And to tribe of Manasseh, two of Joseph's sons, as well as from Levites who have links to ancient Samaria from the period of their entry into the land of Canaan. Some suggest that it was from the beginning of Babylonia captivity up to Sumerian polity of Baba Raba polity. I don't know what polite. It's not polite. I don't think polity. Samaritan Jews used to include a descendants ascribed to the Benjamin tribe. Samaritans used to include a descendants ascribed to the tribe of Benjamin, to the Benjamin tribe. But the line became extinct in the mid-20th century. The split between them and the Judeans began during the time of Eli. According to the Samarean tradition, Judeans split off from the central Israelite tradition. The Sumerians believe that Mount Gerizim was the holy place of Israel from the time that Joshua conquered Israel. The major issue between rabbinical Jews who follow post-exile rabbinical interpretations of Judaism, who are the vast majority of Jews today. Samaritans have always been in the location of the chosen place to worship God, Jerusalem according to the Jewish faith, or Mount Gerizim according to the Samarean faith. Okay, so one group of Canaanites think it's Jerusalem, one group of Canaanites think it's Mount Gerizim. Now this is kind of interesting because of when we get to, let's go to Yahoo. Because, let's see, alright, I guess the computer didn't feel me typing right there. Yeah, you don't feel that? Yeah, my computer's just against me right now. There we go. And when we deal with the Los Lunas Decalogue stone, something interesting is said down here. Now, Los Lunas is in New Mexico. Now, the inscription is pre-Columbian. We have the Ten Commandments, or Commandment Rock. And then a letter group resembling the Tetragrammaton YHWH, right? So, this is what they claim. Alright, so, the controversy. Cyrus Gordon, he proposed that the Los Lunas stone is a Samaritan mezuzah. Now, a mezuzah is a doorpost. Usually it's on a piece of parchment. Okay, so it'd be like a banner or a flag, you know, your American flag outside your doorpost, or outside your house, or sometimes you have people that put stars up or symbols up. Sometimes you have people that put writing up. You know, most of the time you see you're told to post a sign if you have a vicious dog, or if you have a dog, things like that. That would still be considered a quote-unquote mezuzah, because it's what? It's doorpost. It's written on your door, right? Now these actually had to do with what? The Torah. So this is something out of the Hebrew culture, right? So these people are strangers to the Hebrew culture. They want to be part of it, or they're accepting it or adopting it to their own culture. So this Cyrus Gordon, remember, I believe Cyrus Gordon is the guy from the Smithsonian bullshit, right? So 1901, American scholar. No, it's not Smithsonian guy, but you know, he's around at that time. He's born at that time when everything's going down. This isn't the same Cyrus that we're a little familiar with, but Anyway, so the Los Lunas stone is said to be a Samaritan. The familiar Jewish mezuzah is a tiny scroll placed in a small container mounted by the entrance to a house. The ancient Samarean mezuzah, on the other hand, was commonly a large stone slab placed by the gateway to a property or a synagogue. Now, when you find out about this stone, it is hidden. It's on a large boulder on the side of what's called hidden mountain. So if they dwelled within the mountain, if their temple was within the mountain, now you start to see why they do not want you and me and other people, quote unquote, today living within side of mountains. You cannot tax people. You cannot live off of other people living in the wild, quote unquote, even if they're living in a cave or a mountain. How do you tax the things that they're utilizing? A emperor loses thousands of dollars per year of not having those citizens to quote unquote tax. All right, so here we have that link. Now, when he talks about these guys, it says that they're from the Levites, who have links to ancient Samaria from the period of their entry into the land of Canaan, while some suggest that it was, we got through this, didn't we, the Mount Gerza, we got down that far. Sumerians have always been the location of gods when we got to that. In the Talmud, the central post-exilic religious text of Judaism, the Samaritans are called Cthuians, referring to the ancient city of Kutha, geographically located in what is today Iraq. Pardon me. In the Bible account, however, Kutha was one of several cities from which people were brought to Samaria, and they worshipped Nergal. Some geneticists partially support both the claims of the Sumerians and the account of the Talmud, suggesting that the genealogy of the Sumerian lies in some combination of these two accounts. So again, it's telling you their place is Iraq. Nergal is a deity worshipped in Mesopotamia, his main seat at Kutha, representing mound of Tel Ibram. Nergal is mentioned in the Hebrew Bible as a deity of Kuth. The men in Babylon made Sukkoth, Benoth, and the men of Cuth made Nergal. Alright, so, look at this. According to rabbins, his emblem was a cock. Look at that. Does that not lead back to that Kardakia who cut up that demon and made half of him a cock, a rooster? And Negro means dunghill cock, shithill cock, right? Gurga shit, even though we're not doing the Gurga shits, we're doing the what? Samaritans or Samarshits. Shites. Although according to iconography pictured Negro as a lion, he is a son of Enel and Ninel, along with Nana and Ninurta. Okay. Weirdness. Just straight weirdness. Okay, so they worshipped one of the Enel in Sumar, not Samar. Sumar writings creates mankind. This guy, I don't know. No, I'm up in the air on this. This could be the deception. Or this could be the key to the deception. Uh, we can see that the Canaanites mated with these things. We can see that even this NL who claims to be the creator, even though in a dream the creator comes to him and he knows not who this is. So, although he claims to create mankind, although this NL claims that he dealt with a 7-day rest, I see other things. I see that saying stuff like this and having writing and claiming that it's the beginning writing, how it would easily make people think that it would certainly. In mythology, this occurred when Enel and Negro gave him the underworld. Alright, so that sounds like fallen giving domination. That's actually what it sounds like. Nergal sometimes, Nergal, seems, to be part of a solar deity, sometimes identified with Samash, but only represent. You see, Samash is one of those. Never mind. But only representative of a certain phase of the sun, portrayed in hymns and myths as a god of war and pestilence. Nergal seems to represent the sun of noontime and of summer solstice that brings destruction. High summer being the dead season in the Mesopotamian annual cycle, which has also been the king of sunset. There we have it. Over time, he developed from a war god to a god of the underworld. Now, when we deal with that Kardakia bullshit, there we have it. Wait, what did I just say? Kardakia Samash? All roads lead back to Rome, man. All roads lead back to Rome. Alright, speaking of when in Rome, I want to look at this. I want you to look at this. This is When the Survivors of Atlantis Wake Up, Part 1. Mohenjo Daro and the Mycenaean Civilization. Let's listen to a little bit of what this person has to say.
I'm gonna touch much more fundamental problems, like the fact that we have been indoctrinated into believing so many mistaken terms in which we try to define our history that sometimes we lack even basics like the vocabulary to start investigating what actually happened in the past. For example, the cities in South America were full of Greco-Roman statues. Again, we are told it was all done by the colonialists. Which colonialists? The ones that were burning people alive just to make them Christian? The ones who devoted their entire lives to fighting paganism? We're supposed to believe that those very same people made fantastic statues of the very same gods of the pagans, inviting women barely dressed and men wearing only a vine leaf and put them on the top of their most respected social buildings in the cities.
So she makes a good point here. If these Catholics and Christians are murdering pagans, and pagans are building these statues to these quote-unquote gods, then how can these Christians and Catholics claim to have built these magnificent structures that were to these strange gods? So it shows that they murdered these people, and their goal for murdering these people had nothing to do with their religious concept. It had to do with their construction feats.
So, getting back to the Romans, this is how the mass media confirms the fraudulent history already taught in school. They show you like these mosaics with girls in bikini, and they tell you, you see, they were so advanced, they even had bikini, they invented the bikini at that times. And people watch that on TV and say, yeah man, it must be true, you see the old mosaic with the bikini. Without considering that nowhere on this mosaic is written that these are the first prototypes of bikinis. It's absolutely possible that the chicks had bikini even before that. We simply don't have images older than this. Since the Romans did not invent their own Roman togas, why should we think that they invented even their Roman underwear? These are Thracian images of people wearing those very same togas, and these were cultures that predated the Romans. And these are your Roman togas, which many millions of women wear even nowadays in Asia.
And although the outfits of the Thracians and the so-called Roman togas and the saris of India are absolutely identical, people don't even notice it. They are so accustomed to simply taking the official quackademic historic labels as some sort of science that they don't even bother to question.
So I'd like you to just keep in mind how when we look at what's being illustrated here, we're under the impression that Rome is no more, but the cultures that dwelt in Rome still exist. And it turns out, even by the standards that are presented by this video, most of the people groups that still keep this tradition are shown through the Britain Septuagint to be Chanaanites. Now, again, you yourself, you can take whatever you want from this as you will, because I'm just going to present it. I'm going to show you who they are in one book, who they are in another book, and who they are in reality. And the closer that you see whom they are in reality, the less that you think that it's you or anybody else that don't look like this or like this. And that's the whole point, is to not have you see whom they really are. When you're reading this Bible, you should know who these people are, where they got their traditions from, and where they got their biblical customs from, because their traditions were given to them first, and this is how they fell and got kicked off the land that was allotted to them. Now, it completely tells you they had an allotment. They went and they lived on that allotment. When they were going somewhere else, they saw a different allotment, and that is what they chose. There's two different stories given, but only one story gives you how they got the curse. And wake up, people. They done put dark-skinned people in the land where they came from to be able to look back and say, these are the Samaritans, because they live in the city of Samaria. In all reality, these are the Samaritans, and they even keep the name to this day.